So a few months ago, I saw World War Wisdom upload a video on his second channel about defarbing his boots, his cork ring jump boots. And I thought to myself, that's interesting. He got his boots from SM Wholesale. Well, it's a good thing that I don't have SM Wholesale boots. And as it turns out, Jerry Lee contracted his boots out to SM Wholesale when he had these produced back like 7 years ago. And so on top of these not only being misnamed the first time around, they are also covered in that same kind of that World War Wisdom described on his cork rings. And so in the shoot, whatever, my hair, it's my fault for not cutting it. I'm going to do the exact same thing that he did. I'm going to get rid of the finish and then redo it with some saddle soap, mink oil, and a few other things. So initially I went to Lowe's to get acetone because that's what I needed to strip the plastic finish off these boots. And then of course I had to go to Walmart because I forgot I needed boot polish. But of course Walmart didn't have it, so I got some peach mango drink flavor for my mom. Put that upside down. So instead I went to CVS. CVS had it. Now I have everything I need to begin. Plus, not to mention, I stupidly broke the lace on my last time wearing these boots after 5 years and plenty of use. So good laces, but I had to go to Logston & Co. Thank you, Logston & Co. for your package, not sponsored, for some replacement shoelaces. So thank you to them. Appreciate that. And I also have to dub my 43 buckle boots, which is a very easy affair. So I'll get to that eventually. But for now, it's World War I boot time. Jerry had initially listed these as the 1912 marching shoes, but I think that was erroneous because later in his more recent release, he had these listed as 1904, and he eventually, did change the old listing too. But now these are officially just the 1904 marching shoes. And while they're great boots, I love them because they're not hobnailed, so I can actually walk around inside. And yeah, I've used these a little bit. I don't necessarily know how to take care of them as well as I do rough out shoes like those aforementioned 43 buckles, or like any kind of Type 3 screw shoe that you'd see for World War II reenacting. Whereas the 1917 trench boot is really the only option for me. I do still like to wear these whenever I want to talk about my trench boots in living history displays, because obviously with those spikes on the soles, you're going to get a lot of questions from kids and uneducated parents who are attending. We love the public in the reenactment space, asking about the hobnails, and I love talking about them because they're a pain in the ass. But these are my preferred shoes, and I need to take care of them a little bit better. And so, I've minked them and I've oiled them, but I definitely did not do it as well as I probably should have. And so now that leads us here with a microfiber cloth and a bunch of acetone. I'm going to try and strip the finish off of these things on, because I don't know why SM Wholesale would use it if they're supposed to be more absorbent leather. That's not really a me question. That is a anyone else question. That's how it's done. But unlike World War Wisdom, I'm not going to forget to close this. That would kind of be a major fuck up if I did. But I'm going to learn from his mistakes, and I'm going to only put a little bit of acetone on here and properly close it before I. Oh yeah, that's acetone, all right. Properly close it before I, or the wind closes it for me, or opens it for me rather. Now people might ask me, why are you doing this now? After all these years of using your boots, haven't you already mink oiled it, and haven't you already hit it with saddle soap a bunch of times and cleaned it, in a way that World War I reenactors probably should? Yeah, obviously I have. Just not as well as I probably should have. Of course, you can see there's loads of dings and dents on the soles and even on the toes from fancy formations on concrete and stuff like that. Drill ceremonies are not exactly my friend, especially with all the physical issues I've had recently. And that might be a reason why I've had a 5-month break in between posting on this channel. But now that I can move around again and I have a funny scar to prove it, I'm going to keep reenacting and I'm going to keep improving myself, working out, losing weight, and trying at least to commit to the bit the best way that my beloved departed and foe, that he just quit, always wanted me to. But back to the boots. It's hard to find original sources for these 1904 shoes, marching shoes, because of course I'm sure that in both World Wars, the reserves that the United States might have built up for them, of course, wore out, because millions and millions of people served, millions of men served. I don't think women wore these shoes. They might have, but probably not. And any original examples that I know of are very, very dark brown. And so, obviously, when I see the originals, that even on the website for purchasing these things on What Price Glory, you can tell that the original photo that Jerry has there showing exactly what these looked like back in the day in the original state, very different than how they look in the reproductions. The reproductions are very, very light, russet brown, whereas the originals are very dark. And that's, of course, due to oils and stuff building up inside of them dozens and dozens of years, now over, a century. I'm definitely starting to see a difference there. It is unlikely that a soldier who, would have used these shoes daily or whatever, he'd wear them on parade. Well, I'm sure they wore them in training as well. I'm sure I could really dig and find some photos, but for my purposes, I use them whenever I'm not on the mud or not on concrete, so I don't ruin my hobnails. It would only make sense that these shoes would be well oiled, well maintained, and that's why I am specifically going to hit it with the brown polish afterwards, so that it actually, so that it darkens up and looks used instead of brand new like these things have looked for years. They're great shoes. I wear them to the bar. I wear them for ceremonial purposes whenever I'm wearing a suit. Any soldier who would have worn these would have probably hit them with similarly brown shoe polish or brown oil, much like these original photos show. So whether or not it's age making these things a little bit darker, or it is the soldier who originally was issued these boots themselves, I would like to match that. So that's why I'm doing this. Alright. That's about the best I can do now. It's stark contrast to where we started with. Very, very de-coated. So now I'm going to hit it with the little saddle soap and the mink oil, the waterproof, and then after that, shoe polish. Start that, and get the acetone away, because don't want to miss and spill that everywhere. That would suck. That would really suck. So, some of that. I don't think this is supposed to be wet, but I don't care much. Well, I'm about as done as I can be with the saddle soap. That's almost going to cut. I take off my shirt because evidently filming in a black t-shirt in the mid-spring is a bad idea. So, yep. They're still obviously a little washed out because there's no artificial color on them anymore, but I'll start with the mink oil, try to get it a little bit waterproof, and then I will hit it with the polish. And I did look it up, and yes, you do, in fact, need to wet the saddle soap. So I obviously did that, but it's alright. I'll leave this one. I said don't need to wet because it comes melted, or it's because I've been having it sit in the sun for about 3 hours ever since I left to grab my materials, and this stuff goes on in pretty liberal amounts. It's gonna coat this stuff pretty good, pretty fast. So maybe it is best that I do the soles, just for posterity's sake. You can already tell between the two sides the color difference. Of course, this side's going to dry. It's already just a little bit more rich of a brown. And get the bottom on as well. So this goes on. I don't think I even tried this last time. Oh wow! Oh wow! Yeah, it's a thirsty. That's a thirsty shoe right there. Completely covers the bottom. The waterproofing. Yeah, that's night and day. It's night and day right there. When I get the polish on there, it'll make a little difference. I guarantee you that. It looks to me like we're back where we started with these. They're just a little bit more dull, I guess, a little bit less shiny because we got rid of that shiny plastic coating, which you can see all over this rag. This is not all just mink oil and saddle soap. This is mostly the coating. So doesn't look too bad. The best thing is that I finally did. I feel so bad for these poor souls. I guess I've been neglecting them, and now I know why. Well, not even know why. There's been nothing wrong with these boots. These things are phenomenal. So if Jerry Lee or any of the team behind What Price Glory or SM Wholesale are watching, I love these things. These are the first run, the 2017 run. These are really phenomenal. They held up well. Obviously, I don't wear them doing any strenuous reenacting like Newville or anything like that, but I do wear them pretty often as dress boots and whenever I'm walking anywhere in uniform. Now I think it's time to crack open the ye old brown shoe polish. There it is. Let me actually read the instructions on these because it's the first time I've ever used it. Brush dirt off leather, do that high polish and buff with a brush for high polish shine. I don't have well, actually I do have a brush, but I'm not going to be applying it with the brush. I'm going to be applying it with a clean section of ye old, no longer microfiber rag. Let's see if this turns brown. It should be doing good. Yep. Not bad. Yeah, that's that. CVS brand shoe polish. Okay. Personally, I would prefer Kiwi, but of course I don't have a cobbler who lives within a 30-mile radius of me, and that's all I could do on short notice. But overall, not too bad. I feel like I ended up just where I set off from, just with more historically accurate materials. But now, See, real treat. I'm trying not to dox myself on this. I'm opening it behind the shoes, the boots. Yeah, perfect for production. Loxton & Co. works right. Laces. Very nice. Nice little sticker. Dare to be different. So, Loxton & Co. is a company for historical camping. There's their website. They're very nice people. I was recommended to them by a couple guys in the Price Glory Facebook group. And it looks like this is exactly what I was looking for. I thought it was originally leather, but as it turns out, it is waxed cotton. So there's the one that came on the boots, and here is the Logsdon & Co. production. So Logsdon looks like they're a little bit wider, but it's the exact same consistency, exact same material. And, let me put those on there real quick. Cut open the package. It's almost paining me to do it. This way. Which sucks, but nothing lasts forever, even if you do treat it now. You treat it well. Unfortunately, the reality is that things just aren't like they used to be. Whether that be shoes, whether that be tools, whether that be my knife. Let me lace this up like I had before. And which way do you guys lace your boots? Do you lace them one row at a time? Or do you lace them all up on the left side and then all up on the right side? You know, kind of going every other eyelet. I do it like this. I do one horizontal row at a time, going all the way up. There's my cracking lace job. That's not bad. I don't think. I don't suck at lacing boots, unless I do, and someone can tell me. I'm sure they will. Any boot lacing aficionados or any pro cobblers are watching this and cringing right now. But that's one, and I'll probably just lace it the same way both times. And that is job complete. As complete as I can get it, at least. Now onto my 43 buckles, but I think I'll do that myself because I want to put in some music. Flying down here, it's 6:15 right now, so well, I still got a little bit of daylight out. Listen to some music, maybe get an audiobook or something. Just relax as the day comes to an end, as I tend to do these days. I like to end my videos with some sort of hopeful message or some sort of example of perseverance message. I don't have one today. I'm sure that by the time I'm editing this, I'll have found one. And even then, that's not a sure thing either. Much like day-to-day life in the current year of 2026, we'll have to figure something out further down the road. So right now, I don't really know what I want to do. I woke up with the intention of fixing these boots, and I did it. So now I'm going to do something else. Aces.